What's up, everybody? Back in here with the Pro Football Pod. You've got Hulk, you've got Coach, I think's on that side. Austin's over there. If I got it mixed up, don't worry, you'll figure it out. We appreciate you guys for dropping in here with us. Subscribe down below. Every 500 subscribers, we're giving away jerseys out here. Help us, help you. We want to give back to the people. We got the Carolina Panthers record prediction episode here. We're going to break down the schedule section by section, see how we think the Panthers are going to fare this year. Give y'all a quick rundown before we jump really into this. You got Dave Canellis coming back as head coach here into his second year. Really, Panthers started to look really solid there with Bryce Young towards the end of the season. So, you're hoping some things clicked for him a little bit. In the draft, they were able to add Tet McMillan or Tetaroa McMillan. He doesn't like Tet. It's Tetaroa or T-Mac. In the first round at wide receiver, Nick Scourton at edge in round 2, as well as Princely Human Mielen in round 3 at edge. Love both of those pickups for him. Lathan Ransom at safety out of Ohio State. Cam Jackson, the defensive tackle from Florida. Also brought in Mitchell Evans, the tight end that we loved out of Notre Dame, and Jimmy Horn Jr. from Colorado at wide receiver. So I do like their draft class as far as what they needed. I feel like they did a really good job about targeting their main needs. Bryce needed another weapon out there, and they got him too, because I think Mitchell Evans can develop into a very serviceable tight end for you. And then bringing in Scourton and Human Mielen at edge, I loved both of those picks. I felt like both guys went later than they should have. So I've noted them as both of those picks being steals.
Yeah, their draft class definitely turned me into a Panthers fan.
Well, they needed it too, because last year, let me check. Yeah, last year they set an NFL record for most points allowed in a season. They were just allowing 35, 40 points every single game, it looked like. For fantasy purposes or player prop betting purposes, if they were playing the Panthers, it was money every time.
Free money.
Yeah. So I think the Panthers are going to be looking at a better season this year. They finished 5-12 last year. I've got them going better than that this year, so we'll go ahead and dive into it. Austin, I think your camera's frozen again.
I will say that it seems like they have a bit of a tough schedule, especially the first 6 weeks. There's not a lot of really easy matchups for them. And then even after that, I think that they're still one of those teams that I want to see them be able to stop some people. They did add some young pieces to their defense, but there were a lot of holes to fill. Mike Jackson and J.C. Horn are solid pieces. So is
they needed a speed piece like that.
Yeah. I just think that their pass rush and their defensive line in general, yes, they added 2 very good pass rushers at kind of steals where they got them. But that's not going to fix their defensive line in one season. I think that's going to hold them back. Their offensive line is completely the opposite. And I think that their offense in general is going to definitely start to put up some points. But if they have to it's like Cincinnati last year. If they have to put up 40 points to win a game every single week, it's going to be really hard to win games against good teams.
Out here.
Yeah, what are we doing out here? So, diving into it section by section here. Week 1, they're on the road versus Jacksonville. Week 2, they're on the road versus the Cardinals. Week 3, they're at home versus Atlanta. Week 4, they're on the road to New England. I've got them going 2-2 in that stretch, with week 3 and week 4 being wins at home versus Atlanta and on the road versus New England.
What?
See, I think Atlanta definitely is going to have their number, even though it's at home. I think that Michael Penix and that offense is definitely... Austin, your face is frozen in the most hilarious.
It's frozen at the worst time for you.
So I have them 0-4.
Continuously perplexed.
Yeah, I think that New England with Vrabel is going to be a close game, but I believe in Vrabel and what he's going to be able to do, even in his first year with Canellis being a second-year coach. And then Atlanta, I just think Atlanta is the better team. I think they're more explosive on offense. They've got a better running attack, and their defense is slightly better. Not much better.
No, and I agree on those fronts. I gave the win for Atlanta because it's your first home game of the season. Yes, Atlanta has Michael Penix Jr., who did get some playing time last year, and so he's getting a full offseason now. The way I look at it is both teams are kind of in the same boat. Like your head coach is going into his second year. The end of the season last year, both teams looked like they were kind of really hitting their stride. So I think just the home field advantage is what's giving them the lean there. And the reason I gave them the win against New England is just because I love what New England did this offseason, but I don't know if everything's coming together for them by week 4 and Vrabel's really got that fire lit up under them by that point. So that's more of that very well could change by week 2 or week 3, depending on how I see New England. But as I see it right now, like I just like the way I saw what the Carolina Panthers gave me at the end of the year last year versus what the Patriots gave me all season.
That boy tripping.
So what do you got, Austin?
Vrabel already lit the
Might
fire
be.
under my ass, so ain't no way them boys aren't fired up. I mean, if there was one coach
Clearly,
I want to play for in
Stephon
the
Diggs
NFL,
isn't got it figured out because he's out there on a boat doing all kinds of
he's a
party
different.
nonsense.
That's a different story for another day.
So what do you got him
$70
going in
million
that first
down the
4?
drain. I really don't see them getting a win in those first 4. I see it really being tight, but like maybe the Falcons. I'll agree with you on that one, but I definitely not New England.
Okay, so I like the Panthers a little better
And
so
the Jacksonville
far. So
one's interesting. It's very
yeah,
interesting.
well, in our Jacksonville episode, I had Jacksonville winning that, so I just had to stick with it.
Yep,
yeah,
same.
I'd agree with that.
So next set, we got at home versus Miami, at home versus Dallas, on the road versus the New York Jets, at home versus the Buffalo Bills. I've got them going 1-3 in that stretch, with their lone win in that stretch going in New York against the Jets.
Yep. 3 teams
I
that
can
are
see that.
all potential to make the playoffs. They were all in the hunt last year until injuries stopped one of them. Two of them actually. So yeah, I think the Jets are more of a shit show than Carolina at this point.
Which, guys, week 5, Pro Football Pod will be in Carolina for that Miami Dolphins game. So you guys, if you're there with us, if you're watching this, find us, give us a shout out. We will possibly, most likely, have some kind of merch giveaway, maybe some stickers, maybe a koozie, something like that. But we're going to be on site for that game. Austin, what do you have them going in that stretch?
I agree with you on the Jets. We can beat the Jets, but that's
1-3.
about it.
Okay.
And I think we should definitely go back-to-back weeks, going to Carolina.
And then
go to the Dallas game
right
too.
after.
Them boys.
I mean, the Dallas game's going to cost like 4 times as much.
I was about to say it's hilarious because the Dallas, it's easily, because it's the Cowboys, it's automatic 3 times the ticket price, like
really
right
is,
off the jump.
Especially this year. And if the
Yeah,
Carolina's
it's
playing
hilarious.
any type of football, then yeah.
All right, so next section of games here. Week 9, they're on the road versus Green Bay. Week 10, they're at home versus New Orleans. Week 11, they're on the road versus the Falcons. Week 12, they're on the road versus San Francisco. I have them going 2-2 in that stretch, with a win versus New Orleans. And y'all are gonna call me crazy, but I have them beating San Fran on Monday Night Football in San Francisco.
I
feel like that's one of those games that Shanahan just loses, that he absolutely should not lose. But if he's going to drop a game like that, it would be on national TV.
I struggled with that one, and honestly, the only reason I didn't give it to them because it's in San Fran. If that game was in Carolina, even though I think San Fran's a better team, I would have easily given it to Carolina. I just think that San Francisco wins games in San Francisco. When people have to travel all the way out there to the West Coast, they tend to be able to play their game at a high level, especially at Candlestick. Like the crowd is just always there for them.
Yeah, no, like I said,
It'll be a tough
I
one,
think I was crazy
but
for doing that, but when I was
no, I
sitting here looking at
see
it, I
it.
was like, I could see the Panthers somehow pulling that out, especially by week 12 if, Bryce and T-Mac had
Just
started that connection and the offense is rolling at that point. Your young defensive guys are starting to fill out in their roles. So to me, like I said, it's just one of those to where it would not shock me to see San Fran drop that one.
first overall pick, last overall pick.
He ain't getting
I
paid like
mean,
the last overall pick anymore.
I got New Orleans winning week 10. I think that New Orleans is probably the worst team in football right now.
yeah, I got them beating New Orleans as well, and I think it'll be a tough matchup against San Fran. I agree with you.
All
I
right,
don't know if they
so
squeak out a win, but
final stretch of games here. Week 13 at home versus the Los Angeles Rams. They don't have their bye until week 14, which is just wild.
So rough.
Week
it's a
15,
tough
they're
season.
on the road versus the New Orleans Saints. Then they're at home in week 16 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. At home, week 17 versus Seattle Seahawks. Then they go to Tampa in week 18. I've got them going 2-3 in that stretch with another win versus New Orleans. And I think they split one of those two with Tampa Bay.
I can agree with you there. It's either 1-4 or 2-3.
So I've got the Panthers sitting at 7-10 total for the season. So
Shit.
better than last year. Still not really good enough to get where you want to go, but you're looking at building blocks here.
Yeah, I think one more season for them, and we're shooting around 500.
I honestly thought I was going to go into this video giving them 3-14, and it looks like I'm going to change that because I didn't realize that I had them beating New Orleans. But yeah, I gave New Orleans that victory, and I stick by it. I think New Orleans can win one game at the end of the season in New Orleans versus Carolina. Now I'm kind of like regretting it because I think that it really does go back and forth. But yeah.
So what do you got them finishing the season? 2-15.
Yeah.
You think they regress that much?
I don't think it's even that much of a regression because I think their schedule is so rough. Like playing teams like San Francisco, the Rams,
Dallas,
Seattle in Carolina could end up being a victory for them. I'm not convinced that that's a game that they can win. And then, I mean, Dallas, Buffalo, Green Bay, Miami, Atlanta, Arizona, like even New England. I could go back and forth on New England. Like I said, that was a question mark for me. It wasn't an automatic. I think that some of these close games, their defense isn't going to be able to stop that final drive. And their offense hasn't proved to me enough that they're just absolutely going to put up 32 a game.
It's a shame. Sorry, Panthers fans. I tried to be a little positive for you, but Coach just bringing the vibe down. What'd you have them going, Austin?
It's about 13-5.
13-5.
Or is
so
it
they're playing an extra week.
4-13?
4-13.
4-13.
The Saints twice.
So a slight regression on your side.
Yeah. I think next year, if they have another solid draft, it will, like I said, it'll be around 500.
Okay.
You got to slowly build,
Okay.
Quarterback going into year 3.
Regardless, the way we see it is they didn't get significantly better. At least not this season. And I'm with you. I like their offensive line. I think their pieces that they have on that offense is solid enough for them to be able to steal a couple wins that they probably shouldn't. I've got them 7-10, but I can very well easily see them going 4-13. To me, the Panthers it's one of those all right, let's see what y'all have got in year 2 under Dave Canales right now. So, hey, guys, We appreciate y'all's time. If you've stayed with us the whole time, we love you for it. Subscribe down below. Help us, help you. We're trying to give back to the people out here. TulsiRoseTea.com is the sponsor. Be sure to check back in with all our other record prediction episodes we're dropping for y'all. Peace out.
Keep pounding.
Pound, pound, pound.
We're gonna pound, pound.